Sean Maguire, IRN, Sarajevo.
A huge search for 6 schoolboys missing on Dartmoor has been called off after they were found safe and well. The alarm was raised when the teenagers who were taking part in the 10 Tours expedition failed to return. The Dartmoor Rescue Group with sniffer dogs combed the wilderness for the youngsters from the Axe Valley School in East Devon, who've all now been accounted for. Workers at Swan Hunter on Tyneside have been told to report for work as usual this morning after a breathing space was announced for the stricken shipyard. The temporary reprieve comes after receivers Price Waterhouse were called in last week following the firm's failure to win a vital Royal Navy contract. But MP for Newcastle East, Nick Brown, says the workforce needs a long-term plan for the future.
What we want is for the yard to be sold to a major private defence contractor and for warship building to continue on Tyneside. But whether or not that is possible is now wholly in the hands of the government. I think the receivers are doing their best in what are very difficult circumstances, but what they've come up with is reassuring to absolutely nobody up here on Tyneside.
Independent Radio News.
And now for a look at London's weather. Tonight it's going to be cloudy with occasional showers, and to the west of London there'll probably be a spell of rather heavier rain. The temperature will fall slowly to 12 degrees, that's 54 Fahrenheit, in central London, and to 10 degrees, 50 Fahrenheit, in the suburbs. And the brisk southerly wind will persist. On Monday there'll be a cloudy start, but it'll become very warm and bright for a while, with temperatures perhaps getting as high as 20 or 21 degrees. That's 68 to 70 Fahrenheit. Time to get the shorts out. But heavy and possibly thundery showers will break out during the afternoon and evening. So it's time to put the shorts away and, of course, to put, unfortunately, the umbrellas up. Well, a very good morning to you all. I'm Michael van Straten, sitting in here for Therese Birch, having a little well-earned rest tonight. What have we got for you? Well, we've got, as always, an hour of open line to start with. Your chance to pick up the phone and give me a call. Talk to me about anything you want to get off your chest, any items you want to raise, anything you may have seen or heard in the papers or here on LBC's news during the day. If there's something that annoys you, get it off your chest. It'll only keep you awake. Mark you, we want you to stay awake, of course, but you can join in by picking up the phone and dialing 071 973 9733. At 2, I'll be joined by our expert in the paranormal, Lynn Picknett. She's here to tell us all about the Turin Shroud. Yes, indeed, the Turin Shroud rears its ugly head again, and lots of controversy. Lynn has some very interesting theories about that. Right this minute, she'll be firing up her broomstick. Well, perhaps she won't. Perhaps she'll be coming in on her vacuum cleaner. Perhaps she's an updated witch these days. But she'll be here between 2 and 3 to take your calls, and anything to do with the paranormal. Perhaps you've had a strange experience. Perhaps you think you've a poltergeist, a friendly or not so friendly, lurking around your house. Or perhaps you just want to have a chat with Lynn about the Turin Shroud. She really does have some fascinating new evidence about it and its origins. And she'll be here right through until 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock it's time for the quiz. Yes, the horrible, difficult quiz that runs every Sunday night, Monday morning at this time. Just after 4, then Jonathan will come in and we'll test him, see if he knows any of the answers. Lots more time for open line and more of your calls. A little bit of a science update right the way through until 5:30 in the morning. So stay with me, Michael van Straten, right the way through. We'll be talking about anything that you want to talk about this Monday morning here on LBC.
Are you sensitive about undressing on the beach this summer with those varicose veins looking like they do? You don't have to spend days and nights in hospital anymore to get rid of them. All you need do is call the Grosvenor Clinic, and our specialists will remove those varicose veins now, at sensible prices in these difficult times, and in time for the summer. Why wait until after the holidays? Speak to the experts. Call the Grosvenor Clinic, 081 203 8080. That's 203 8080.
The Mondesal Furniture Clearance Sale is now on.
All the best buy in town.
London's biggest Italian furniture importers, over 100 hand-carved solid wood 3-piece suite and dining sets for immediate delivery.
You'll be amazed at the price.
Monditel has unbelievable bargains, huge discounts up to 50% off, located just over the bridge on Lee Bridge Road, Leighton E10. Or call 081 556 1221. London's largest Italian furniture store, the best at Monditel.
Hello, amigo. I'm Chiquita Banana, and I've come to say bananas have to ripen in a certain way, and when they're flecked with brown and have a golden hue, bananas taste the best and are the best for you. You can put them in a salad, you can put them in a pie, any way you want to eat them. It's impossible to beat them, but bananas like the climate of the very, very tropical equator. So you should never put bananas in the refrigerator. To have bananas that are fully ripe, you must be absolutely sure to take them home and let them ripen at no temperature.
Oh, sure. Michael van Straten on LBC News Talk.
Yes, and you can call me on 071973 9733. Talk about anything you want to talk about. I've just had a quick skim through tomorrow morning's, well, this morning's newspapers. The Daily Mail has a big heading, Dempster, the truth about Charles and his women. Their lead story is children blamed as hounded old soldier is gassed to death. John Logan survived Arnhem, the privations of a German prisoner of war camp, and the loss of an arm. 50 years later, he died, the victim of terrorways who terrorised and then gassed him in his home. Among the suspects of a boy of 6 and several more under 10. They are too young to face prosecution. Mr. Logan, aged 73, had apparently been marked out for revenge because of his refusal to abandon old-style community values. He had ticked off the youngsters for dropping litter. Well, what do you have to say about that? I don't know. It seems to me that the whole fabric of our society is breaking down a bit, that there is no discipline, that there is no control over our youngsters. Do you have a view on why that is? Do you have any opinions as to what we should be doing with these young children who are well below the age of facing any sort of criminal activity by the police or the courts? Why are they running wild and on the rampage as they are? And what have we done wrong, we as parents? What have we of society done wrong? What should we be doing to put it right? If you have views, preferably not views that include hanging and flogging. I don't think those provide much in the way of answers, but, well, maybe you have some ideas as to what's triggered off these problems. The Sun has a wonderful good news story on its front page, I have to say. Nice to see good news on the front page. Well, two bits of news, one good, I'm not sure about the other. But their lead story is all about Mandy Smith. Mandy, I'm dandy, says the Sun. I've put on 45 pounds, even my bum's back. Brave Mandy Smith told last night how she has fought back from the brink of death to become one of Britain's top models again. The former child bride of Rolling Stone Bill Wyman plunged to just 5 stone during her harrowing 5-year battle against a wasting disease. But blonde Mandy, 23, is now back to a healthy 8 stone 3 and has regained her stunning 34-24-34 figure. And I must say, the pictures of her inside modelling clothes are really, really stunning. I must say, some years ago, just when she announced her engagement to Bill Wyman, I met Mandy Smith. I interviewed her for a programme here at LBC, and she was, of course, 15, 16 at the time. She was a delightful, lovely child then. Judging by these pictures, she's grown into a very, very beautiful woman. Well, I know I wish her well, I'm sure everybody else does, for recovering from her illness, but have you got any views on the way in which pressure can affect young people, particularly people in the public eye? It's all very well for us to sit at home and think, oh, well, they've got everything, haven't they? This, that and the other, and success and fame, and why are they whinging and why are they ill? Sometimes people don't have the emotional maturity to cope with those sort of pressures at a very early age, and certainly it affected Mandy Smith badly. Perhaps you have some ideas of your own as to how to cope with pressures, because everybody has them in their own way. Perhaps you've coped with illness caused by the stress of being made redundant, or bereavement, or divorce, or the loss of a close loved one. If you have, give me a call, 071973 9733. Oh, goodness me, you're lighting up the switchboard here. And I'm here, as you know, to keep you all wide awake right the way through the night. Let's go, first of all, to St John's Wood and say a very warm hello to... Who are we speaking to? We're speaking to Jenny. All I have to do is to find that switch. Hello, Jenny.
Hello there.
How are you this morning?
I've got a sore throat.
Oh, you poor thing.
And that was from screaming last night after the Eurovision Song Contest.
I see. I mean, screaming in horror and disgust, were you?
Yeah, you could say that.
Which was your favourite?
Well, I was being patriotic and voting for Britain, but really Ireland deserved to win.
Yeah, it was a great song, wasn't it?
That was very nice, yeah.
Yeah, it really was smashing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that the voting is very political? Hello, Jonathan's coming to say hello. Hey, excuse me a second. Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Michael.
Are we all right?
I was just going to adjust some levels here.
Oh, I see. Oh, that way. Oh, yeah,
If Jenny has a chat a minute, I'll...
Yes, speak to us, Jenny.
Oh, what did we say?
Well, anything like... What did you have for breakfast is the usual question.
I didn't eat today.
You didn't eat today?
Not
I
for breakfast,
see.
no, I didn't get up till lunch.
Oh, well, that was because you were sitting there screaming and taking a swig out of the bottle, were you?
That's right, yeah. I've been on Lucasade all night.
You've been on Lucasade all night. Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan's the expert in these matters, you know.
Yeah.
He comes in and does the fine-tuning, twiddles the knobs a bit, and
Sounds good.
Yeah, but thank you. Get it all working properly. I wondered about last night.
Yeah.
The voting did seem just a touch political to me once or twice.
So, yeah.
I wonder, because nobody ever tells us, whether the judges see the other marks.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, because it was like they were teasing.
Well, there was a bit of tactical voting going on there, wasn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, perhaps if there's anybody out there who's an expert on the Eurovision Song Contest, though why anybody would want to be, I can't imagine, perhaps they'd let us know whether or not the judges can see the marks, because it would be much fairer if they couldn't, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
But, yes, I wondered about a certain amount of the voting. You know, the sort of Spain always votes for Portugal, Portugal always votes for Spain, and, you know, somebody doesn't vote for somebody because they're getting a bit close to their own country. And,
that's right.
But did you enjoy the evening?
Yes, I videoed most of it anyway. There were songs that I thought deserved to win better, though.
There were also some very weird numbers, weren't there?
Yeah, I think Spain should have won, though.
It was a lovely song, wasn't it?
Yeah, for diversity.
Some of the dance routines, they all looked as if they got some Vitus dance, didn't they?
It was a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, leaping about and twitching and shaking, and I mean, not always, I might say, in time with the music.
That's right.
But didn't that Irish girl have a wonderful voice?
Yeah, she had a beautiful voice.
Yeah. I don't think she'll be working in the bank much longer, do you?
No, I don't. I was thinking that myself.
I mean, if you were her, would you be still in the bank?
No.
No.
I wouldn't be there to start with.
No, I don't think so either. Anyway, what did you want to talk... Enough of this idle chatter, young Jenny. What did you want to talk about?
I want to talk about driving tests. I failed my... I'm not ashamed to admit it. I failed my third driving test this week.
Oh, dear.
I'm becoming quite depressed about it. The thing is, not to be boastful, but I think I'm a perfectly capable driver. I mean, I have the confidence to be able to get in a car now and drive around London. I'm happy to do that. But the thing is, I suffer with my nerves at the driving test. I was given beta blockers by my doctor, and I managed to suppress my nerves. But I lost it a little bit, and I misunderstood one of my examiner's commands. Now, the thing is, what I wanted to request, I don't know if it's permitted on the show, but I wanted to ask if there are any driving examiners listening. A, do they think that the test is fair? B, what are they looking for exactly? And C, do you know what? I've forgotten what C was going to be.
If you slip them a fiver, will they pass you next time you take the test? Yes.
That's the one.
Well, yes. I must say, I think this whole question of exam nerves of any sort is something which is very underrated by those who don't suffer from them.
That's right. True.
Because, as you say, you're a confident driver, and I suppose your driving instructor thinks you're capable, or they wouldn't suggest you went in for the test.
Yeah, Jackie. Can I say hello to her, Jackie?
Hello, Jackie. What a lady instructress.
That's right. She's very good too.
Yeah. I wonder sometimes whether it might help to go on one of these very intensive driving courses, where you go away for a week and you have a sort of residential, almost non-stop driving instruction and lectures and talks and take your test at the end of it.
Yeah, well, I've been specifically advised not to do that, and people have told me it's not a good idea. But the thing is, I can literally drive really well until the final minute when I go into the test. I mean, the last test I had, my second test, I was really good, just until I saw, as soon as I saw the examiner, I burst into tears because of my nerves.
That must have impressed him greatly, Jenny.
He thought somebody had died in my family.
Oh, dear.
So, I mean, I just don't think it's just. I don't think it's a just test. And I was just wondering if there was any prospect of them changing it, to make it less hard.
Well, maybe if there is a driving examiner out there listening, they might give us a call and just tell us what the examiners are looking for. Obviously, they're looking for skill and safety and ability. Yeah. But what else? What little tricks would they offer as a source of success to Jenny?
Yes.
Well, you just got to keep on trying there, Jenny.
I'm becoming very despondent.
Well, the trouble is, of course, every time you fail, you get more nervous next time, don't you?
That's right. I've got another test next month, though, so I'll keep trying.
Perhaps you should go and do it abroad somewhere and come back with a European licence.
That's right. It's a lot easier, isn't it?
Go somewhere where they don't know you. Is that the answer, do you reckon?
That's right. I think I'll send somebody along to do my test.
Oh, that's naughty. That is a criminal offence. We don't encourage.
Really?
We do not encourage our listeners to indulge in criminal activity, young Jenny. Jenny, thanks very much indeed for your call.
You're welcome.
And keep listening. Maybe we'll get some answers for you.
I will.
Poor old Jenny, isn't that awful? Failing her test 3 times in a row. I don't know. Not nice, is it? Not nice. Perhaps Betty in Beckenham might have a bit of advice. Good morning, Betty.
Good morning, Michael.
How are you?
I can't hear you very well.
I can hear you beautifully.
Oh.
Turn up the hearing aid a bit.
Oh, now come along.
How are you, Betty?
It's such a long time since I've spoken to you, and there you go say things like that.
I'm only pulling your leg. It's lovely to talk to you. No, I haven't sat in this chair for a while. I must say I've missed it. I haven't sat in this chair for a while, and I've missed it.
I know.
I enjoy our little late-night chats. What do you think about...
missed you.
Ah. What do you think about poor Jenny failing her tests 3 times in a row?
Pardon?
What about poor... You're not listening hard tonight. What about...
No, the line is very bad, Michael.
Is the line very bad?
No, the line.
Oh. I tell you what, do you want to try and see if we can get you back on a better line?
Oh, please.
Would we? I'll ask Jonathan if he'd do that. Jonathan? Yes, Jonathan is nodding. Jonathan's going to do that. We'll say au revoir, Betty. Au revoir, not goodbye, because poor old Betty can't hear us very well, so we'll try and get her on a different line. So what we'll do is go to Crystal Palace and say a very good morning to Judd. Good morning, Judd.
Oh, hello, Michael.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine. I got some good news for you, Michael.
What's that?
You had a customer last week, I think it was on the Frank Buff show.
Yeah.
Who said he took your favorite substance, garlic capsules.
Oh, right.
And that his wife complained that he had garlic smell on his breath. And even though it was the Quai brand, which has this enteric coating that's supposed to dissolve not in the stomach but in the intestines. And this caused him a lot of unhappiness because he was sold on the idea.
Yes, and his wife was about to move into the spare room, wasn't she? Or put his she was going to put his bed in the garage, I think, is what he said.
That's right. And you know, I could hear the terror in your voice because I know you think this is a great substance, and I take it as well. But I have a theory.
Tell us
about this, and which I wanted to expose to you, and that is the pH of his stomach could play the role here, because I remember. He said that his friend told him to eat something or drink something. I believe he was drinking water and eating something when he took the capsule.
Yeah.
And that would raise the pH in his stomach. So the enteric coating on the pill is designed to dissolve not in acid, but only at higher pH levels near 7, 6, or 7. Quai doesn't say what the pH.
No, what an interesting thought.
So in other words, you can design exactly what pH you want this stuff to melt at, the coating to melt at, and anywhere from about 4.5 up to 7.5, which is what shellac used to be. People used to use, and so we don't know what their coating is, and I'd like you to find out because I'd be curious about this.
Now, you sound, Judd, as if you know about such things. Are you a chemist?
No, I'm a lawyer, but I've taken a great interest in my gut and the things that live and crawl there.
Lots of good things, if you're lucky.
That's right. And so I've gone down to do some research, and I got interested because I wanted to take this lactobacillus acidophilus.
Yeah.
And the capsule that it comes in is not enteric coated, and a very recent article in a medical journal gives a thorough rundown of what lives and dies at various gastric pHs. And bacteria all die at 4. And if your pH is less than 4, which is, your fasting pH is around 2 usually.
Yep.
So I didn't want to buy all these expensive pills and then have all the bacteria
die
in
on
the
you.
stomach. So I got interested in how could I make this, get my pH up high enough, long enough for the pill to get through my stomach into my gut, and that's how I got interested in this. Anyway, when you eat food like milk, for example, the pH is about 7. And so if you drank, half a pint of milk, and mix that with your stomach, the pH would come up very sharply. And I figured that's what this guy did. And therefore, to be sure that it does not melt in the stomach, he should take it on a fasting stomach when he first wakes up.
That's right. So it goes right the way through and ends up in the small intestine.
Exactly. Exactly. So that was my theory I wanted to expose to you. There's a book about this, which I'll just mention to you, which is where I got this from. It's called Drug Delivery to the Gastrointestinal Tract, which is it has a chapter on enteric coating. It's a 1989 book, Ellis Horwood Limited.
Yeah.
And it's a chapter 7, enteric coatings and delayed release. So that's where I got my information from.
Fascinating. Well, that's a very interesting observation, Judd. Thank you very much indeed for that. We shall pass that on in Body Talk next Sunday to. It was the Boff Show, wasn't it? Yes. When I'm with Frank on Tuesday next, I shall pass it on and hope the same gentleman is listening.
Okay. Michael.
Perhaps you have just saved a marriage there, Judd. Listen, thanks for calling. Stay listening because we've got the quiz coming up later. You may want to have a little go at that. I haven't looked at the questions yet. Perhaps there might even be a question or two about things to do with stomachs. Who knows? Who knows? Now then, I think we have Betty back again. Yes, we do. Betty, where is Betty? On line 10? Is Betty there? Yes. Betty should be there. Betty should be there. Hello, Betty.
Hello.
Oh, that's better, isn't it?
Yes, loud and clear.
I can hear you much better on that line.
That's right. You're very clever.
So, not me, it's Jonathan. Jonathan's magic fingers, you know.
He's a dear too.
Yes, he does it all.
Oh, I know.
Well, now.
Now, I wondered if you could help me with this. I have a cousin who went to Australia in 1948. She was 17 then. And she went to Brisbane and finally married an Australian doctor. And we lost contact with her. But we have her address in Brisbane, but not, and that was Ellis Street, Tenerife Heights in Brisbane, but then she moved to Sydney, so, there's a blank, it's just blank there. And her mother has died, died about 8 years ago. I've been trying. I tried with the Salvation Army, and all I know is that address in Brisbane, and that her husband's Christian name was Ian, but don't know the...
You don't know his surname?
Surname.
Ah, that's the problem, isn't it?
She came over here with a delegation, political delegation, in 1977, and that was the year my husband died. And she went to Wales, where, of course, she was born, to see my mother. And but my mother, unfortunately, was staying here with us. You see?
What a pity.
Yes, so I got a message on the Charlie Chester radio show, and it went out. But, and I can't remember, because as you will appreciate, my husband was very ill, and he died that year. I can't remember how I found out that she had gone back to Australia the day before the message went out.
Well, I tell you what I think might be the answer. There is, for sure,